always important when a car is passing you, always keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah.
Especially here, I had a nasty crash because I was overtaking a car, but car was looking in his mirror, and while he was looking in the mirror, he ended up going on the grass because he was not looking on the track.
Okay.
Then he went on the grass, spun out, and hit me from the side. Yeah. Good morning, comrades. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Nürburgring. Welcome, Patrick. How are you doing?
Hi, Misha. Hi, hello. Good morning.
Morning. So this is the baby, and last time I saw the car, it had a bit of a damage here, I would say. Because if you remember, was it the first opening day?
Yeah, it was.
The first opening day, I was driving with the Fiesta ST with Rabi, with the white one, in the wet, and then a car in front of us had an accident, and that is the car. Oh!
Should have just let it slide. Should have let it go and he accelerated into the wall.
I'm gonna have a guess because I haven't watched the clip anymore since that time. I believe it was a case of lift-off oversteer on the dry line in the wet, therefore you already have little grip, and then even less when you lift with a front-wheel driven small wheelbase car. Patrick reached out to me first through the comments and then also through the email asking like, yeah, can we go for a lap together because I want to get back on my horse after I fell off. And you've been actually here already last 2 days or so.
Yeah, I came here Friday morning.
Yeah, and they've been doing some laps,
yes.
And it's getting back slowly.
Getting back slowly, still feel kind of uncomfortable once in a while, and I'm more than happy it's dry now and not wet anymore, so I'm trying to gain my confidence again, and more than happy that you take me out. So I can feel the car a bit more, maybe.
Yeah, let's do that. So the car is Swift Sport, so it's like what, 115 or something horsepower?
136.
136, yeah. What are we running in terms of tires?
Michelin Super Sport.
Super Sports
4.
Should be good enough. Brakes? Any upgrades?
No, not
stock-ish.
Everything stock.
Everything stock.
I ordered the roll bar. I ordered suspension, seats,
nice.
varnish.
So it's going to be a full build. Nice. Well, I guess let's hop in and do a lap and try to get you up to pace again.
What do you recommend? How to improve? I mean, one is by driving, of course, but so for example, taking instructional laps. When and how much does it make sense?
A few at a time, of course, to soak in all the information. Just come here, do an hour or so, like, you know, 4 laps. And then the next day, for example, again, do some data analysis to see what you're doing right or wrong. Because it's not only about driving. Like me personally, at least nowadays, I learn more from data analysis than from driving more. Because driving more is like to a point you just like you keep on doing the same, and then of course you can be told to do certain things or not to do certain things. But when you can see on the video, like, aha, okay, that's the line that you want me to take, or that's where you want me to brake, while you have time to figure it out in peace. Because when you're on track and I tell you like, hey, no, this is what you need to do, and there are like 20 cars around you and you're going fast, you're like, fuck, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and it takes this much and it's gone again. You can't rewind, kind
exactly,
of.
Exactly. So that would be like a very next level, and this is something that a lot of people don't see the value of it, and that's what all the professional drivers do mostly. They obviously analyze each other's data, but then they go like really into precision, like, you brake 0.1 seconds later here, and with a bit of bar pressure more, or kilograms or whatever they measure the brake performance. That's the next level. But yeah, get an instructor with some video analysis. So usually, like here at Apex, we can do it with Race Navigator, so you have like good footage, and that could be a start, of course. And
besides collecting laps,
besides that,
getting more confident.
Yeah, you could of course also go try sim racing. Especially it would help you to work with grip levels and catching the car. Because what that's what helped me a lot, like 2 or 3 years ago when I started doing that.
Yeah.
Is get on the sim and actually overdrive the car, intentionally make it drive on the limit, and to catch it, because that's what it that's something you can do, let's say, safe on the sim.
Okay. And you feel that on the sim?
Yes. Yeah. With a good sim with a good direct drive system, you will feel the steering wheel getting light.
Okay.
And this will actually help you also in the car. At least that's what it helped me, because you start feeling the car through a different way. Because traditionally you would feel what it does with your back and with your connection with the pedal, and then you start feeling, okay, how the steering wheel behaves.
Okay.
Unless you have a motion rig, of course, on the sim, because that's a different story. So we have a traction control button that we can actually switch off. Nice, faster Porsche coming in. It's like you said, you have a big fear for traffic. But as you can see, it's just going past us in his own direction, and we're going in our own direction. That's very important.
With a single guy like this.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have maybe a bit more traffic, but now it's a holiday, so more people are actually leaving.
Yesterday was crazy.
Yeah. The brakes are good in this car. I like it, even for stock performance.
Okay. This is sure something way different than what I was doing yesterday. Holy shit.
So hopefully we'll get you a bit more confidence to see what it does, what it can do. Okay, he's letting us through. Plenty of grip levels, and the most important thing, like I said, what went wrong with you is sudden lift off oversteer, because I can demonstrate it here. When you go in a corner and you think like, oh, you lift and the car suddenly actually turns in more. You can use this technique to actually make the turn in more, like for example here where I'm going on the gas and I lift and it's like, huh? Yeah, it dips in.
Okay.
So the most important thing is through corner always be on throttle. If you need to lift, be very smooth with it, like gradually lift, because the sudden lift off, it will cause you so much issues. It's like what I had also with when I was in Spa with Porsche with GT3 RS last week. The instructor said you can go, when you go to 140, don't worry, just use the runoff, but slowly, gradually lift, but do not like lift suddenly, because that's what will have to fish people out of the barriers. The lift off is the most horrible thing that can happen.
And in the white multiplied by...
Yes. Faster cars. So, another fast car incoming. We just turn the indicator, we look ahead. And see, he's also staying more on the left. There are two more significantly faster cars coming in a dangerous section, so what I'll do, I'll use the indicator to the left to tell them that, hey, I'm going to stay on the line.
Okay.
Because we're carrying quite a lot of speeds through here already. Too bad we didn't put the rear camera on. So we pass these two, and then we indicate to the right, and then the cars are passing. Always important when a car is passing you, always keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah.
Especially here, I had a nasty crash because I was overtaking a car, but the car was looking in his mirror, and while he was looking in the mirror, he ended up going on the grass because he was not looking on the track.
Okay.
Then he went on the grass, spun out, and hit me from the side.
Yeah.
So when you're being overtaken, always eyes on the road, and be predictable. Just like what was that? It was something, dead animal on the track, a mouse or something. Always be predictable. When you have the mapping in of the track, like for example, if the car would be overtaking us here, I know that I stay as max possible to the right, keep your eyes on the road, and that's the cars with, for example now Porsche is coming, so we're staying on the right maximum for them, and he's coming through, and everybody's happy. So that's what I always tell people, especially guys like them. They they want to crash into you even less than you want them to crash into you, because they have a faster car, more expensive car, and they want to have all the headache. So as long as you're staying predictable, you should be fine. I'm not going to say that everyone is like responsible and stuff. Of course, you have idiots everywhere, you know. But if you, as the one being overtaken, is minimizing the risk, that will be everybody will be super happy. It's also like, I take the example of when I drove in 21 with the Dacia, the 24-hour race. The first time we drove, we had a lot of drivers. They were like super skeptical. They're like, how should you do this? Like, come on, with the Dacia, with such a big difference with speed levels, with faster cars, with GT3s. But we stay very predictable, and every time we would indicate on which side we would stay. For example, in TF and public sessions, you're only allowed to stay on the right, so overtaking on the left. In racing, you would predict like, okay, this corner I can carry speed, and it would be best for me to stay left or right, and you're seeing the faster car behind you approaching. So by staying super predictable, after that, I would say about, I think 6 or 7 GT3 drivers from different teams, from Porsche, from BMW, who are driving GT3s, they came to us, to our box, and say, guys, we want to shake your hand, to say a massive thank you, because at first it was scary, because sometimes we're approaching it with 200 kilometers per hour difference. But then after that we realized that you're actually doing what you're doing, and you're constantly watching your mirrors. It was for us like, okay, we take a deep breath, we're going for it, but we can overtake you. And we would wish that majority of the cars that are doing like driving here, like faster classes but still significantly slower classes than GT3s, could do the same. And that makes the life so much easier and comfortable for everyone here. Just like, watch your mirrors, communicate with each other what everyone's doing. We're gonna have like another train of 5 cars behind us in a bit, so that's going to be a nice exercise. You see what's happening? Especially here with a lot of twisty bands going uphill. Start catching up now, so I'm going to indicate to the right, and by the time they catch up, they should be aware that we've seen them. Okay, they're catching up now, so we're going to slow down a bit to stay off the line. They're still not fast enough, but there you go. 1 car, 2 car, 3 car. An important point as well, when you have multiple cars overtaking, once the car has passed you, always check in the mirror if there is not another one coming, because that's the thing what people oversee the most. You think like, there is one, it passes you, and then you move over, but there is the next one coming, and that's...
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, that's also what I'm quite cautious of when I am following another car and we're overtaking a slower car. You always see that someone else, the one that we're overtaking, is sometimes like closing the gap or something. So unless I'm extremely close to the other car that I'm following, I would usually try not to go for the second overtake. Yeah, how your experience so far?
That's by far more than I expected, even in my dreams. Wow. I didn't know this car could go like this actually.
Yeah, it goes very nicely.
So now that I know what, at least for me, still in theory, would be possible.
Yeah. mean that you should try to do it immediately.
No. This is my goal now for, I don't know, how many laps do I need?
I don't know, I mean...
Couple of hundred?
Yeah, maybe. Some people pick up things faster than others.
Yeah.
So again, also very cautious with overtaking in the left-hand turns, because the car can turn in on you, maybe it not seen you, or maybe it misjudges the...
This is sure a blast.
Two AMGs, they're having a dual taxi. Interesting. I'm gonna slow down here because I saw the yellow light behind us going on.
Here it was.
Yeah, because there was like a yellow light
coming around this turn then, and here I was.
Yeah, you were here.
About here I was
and
starting to
went on the
flip. Then somewhere in here.
But yeah, as you can see, lift off oversteer. That, like pro drivers, they also use throttle and brake more than steering. I mean, it sounds weird, but because you can do so much more with the weight transfer to steer the car. But if you do it too much, of course, then the car will rotate more, especially if you don't expect it. So that's the thing. And like I said, this is what you should practice the most. Not necessarily on the track, because that can be quite dangerous. You can do it on GP track, even better if you do some safety driving center, or like I said, in a sim racing, you can really just go on the gas, lift, you know, and then you see, oh fuck, the car is just like completely gone. And it's the same effect that you will get in real world. And this will prepare your mind, like, okay, I need to either gradually let go of the throttle or like not do it at all. It's better to go too slow in the corner and then just to what's it called, to go faster out of it, than going too fast and realizing like, oh, I need to lift, because that's when the issues can happen. So yeah, so far the small info. So hopefully
lessons. Thank you so much, Misha. That was lifetime experience.
Yeah. I loved it as well. I'm happy I got to drive the first model Swift, and it's really good. It's unfortunately we didn't have feet cam because the sticky mount wouldn't stick. It was the dashboard underneath was too well taken care of. It was quite not sticky, but yeah, amazing car. Like really good. I understand why everyone is raving about them. It's
I think for beginners
it's perfect. What's the value of them nowadays roughly?
Oh, in Switzerland I paid with, what is it, 100 and the other tachometers. Yeah, it's below. I had to change it. I paid 7 grand about.
Okay, that's good. And like how much of the mods you gonna put in?
Oof.
more than the value of the car.
More than the value.
Yeah.
Now, as I mentioned, the cage, I mean just the roll bar, the seats, then your console. In Switzerland everything is a bit tricky with getting it registered. And then the suspension, it's probably going to be about 8 grand.
Yeah.
Then I'm set for
you're set for a good,
good basis also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Effects of safety, I would say.
Definitely. No, this is what I want to say. I mean, in base, I really like the car, and the good thing about it, and that's why a lot of people actually lap them, because I know guys who have faster cars, like even Porsches, you know, and they just buy a Swift just like for shits and giggles, or for their kids or something. Indeed, as a beginner's car. The best part about them is because they're so light. They're like what, 900 kilos or under, I think under
1,050 or so.
Yeah. But
if you rip out the stuff, you're below 1,000.
You'd be below 1,000. So you actually don't. You have so few consumables because the tires are small. They're cheap. The brakes are also small and cheap, and they keep on running. So it's a perfect track car, and fuel consumption as well. We're still full after doing our lap. We're still on full.
Small tank, I think it's 42 liters or so.
Yeah, but because it's naturally aspirated, it doesn't drink much, so it's amazing. Yeah, good choice. So hopefully you'll come back stronger and faster.
Every time, that's the target, but
exactly.
I'm gonna take it easy. I have wife and kid, and
that's important. Always always
I want to have fun here, and last time when I hit the barrier, that was not fun, so I tried to avoid that.
I think our wheel is loose. It sounds like loose wheel bolts, so we're gonna come in here to apex slowly. That's for you.
Thanks a lot.
You can really see it, that it's indeed loose. You can probably turn it in by hand pretty much.
Holy shit, they became loose.
Yeah, check all 4 of them and...
Felt this or was it by the sound?
I felt it. I felt it in the steering wheel, that it was knocking, and unfortunately I had my share of wheels coming off. So if you want to be fully safe, when you start converting your car, get a stud conversion. So instead of bolts, you have then studs.
That's why so many guys have these studs.
Yeah, because that will help to avoid it.